Hello, Taurus. Thank you for being here with me today. So, we're going to be doing a reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Just so that you kind of have an idea of the kind of spread I'm going to do, we're going to look at your soul's desire, your obstacle, like your physical obstacle, or I should say earthly obstacle. It doesn't have to be a physical obstacle, but it has to do with your ego and you here physically on earth, the obstacle in regards to that soul's desire, and some advice from your spiritual team. So, I've already pulled one card, which is just kind of like a keep in mind energy in regards to your reading. But I just want to mention while I was kind of meditating on your energy, getting into Taurus's energy, I had this like flush come over me, kind of like embarrassment. I don't know if it's yours or if it's somebody around you. I had this like feeling of, when somebody makes you nervous or they might be kind of intimidating, uh, I had that kind of feeling where, like, you don't want to screw up, you don't want to embarrass yourself, and usually when we get nervous like that, when somebody intimidates us or we don't feel completely comfortable around someone as of yet, that's generally when we embarrass ourselves. That's usually when we're kind of a klutz or our words kind of trip over themselves or something like that. So that could be going on either for you or for someone around you, and that may or may not have anything to do with your reading here today. Just kind of a heads up that I had that feeling. So your keep in mind energy, we have wise leader. It says you are a beacon for others. I love this card. It's really interesting because she's carrying, this torch, this flame. And as soon as this card came out, I think it's the Bangles who sang the song Eternal Flame. Um, and the lyrics were kind of coming in and out for me. So she sings about, am I only dreaming? In the song, like, is this real or am I only dreaming? Basically, the feeling that she has, um, the, the desire that she has, and the feeling of something. So in the song, it generally comes off as a love song, right? But it doesn't have to be. It can be a love for something, a desire for something. And so this is an eternal flame for you. So it could be like, this could be, a twin flame. You might believe in that. Or this could be like, you could be a North Node Taurus. I highly doubt a North Node Taurus, unless it's your sun, moon, or rising as well, is going to be watching this reading. But there could be even something about your North Node being in the second house or something like that. Or maybe just for you as a Taurus, maybe your North Node's not there, but it's something about your soul's desire, your soul's calling, your North Node, your North Star kind of feeling, something that is eternal, that is unquenchable and will never go away, right? It's so strong. And it's like, is this real? Am I only dreaming? You're being called to step into the spotlight, to step into power, to take control in some sort of way in your life right now, Taurus. Is something to keep in mind. You are a beacon for others. So you have been through a lot, right? You're a warrior. There are, I don't know if you can see it, but there are people following her on this card. There could be people that are following your lead, or who maybe you're even, that could be that feeling of nervousness, or not wanting to embarrass yourself. If you have a lot of eyes on you, that can really put the pressure on. And that's generally, like I said, that can be where we get a little nervous, or we might fumble a little bit. And it's like, you're human, Taurus. We're all human. We all fumble over our words, or whatever it is, and nobody's gonna think less of you for that. um that saying about, like if somebody's laughing at you or if somebody's laughing with you, make sure that people are laughing with you. You know what I mean? Like be the first one to laugh at yourself. If something like that were to come up, like be lighthearted, don't, don't be so serious, or don't take something too seriously is coming through. There's also the spear here. When I think of like it's almost like the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Swords, because it's a wand, it's a staff that she's carrying, but it has the spear on the end, right? The knife on the end, the sword. So it's like your truth and your passion are tied together. Your passion and your truth. Your truth is your passion. There's some sort of truth. There's some sort of, I just heard epiphany. Maybe you're having an epiphany. Something is your passion. Something is your truth. I never really noticed it on this card before either, Taurus, but there is what seems to be a mountain back here, but I'm seeing it as a volcano back here. So something could be ready to erupt. Something could have been simmering under the surface for a long time, and now it's ready. Or maybe you're ready. Maybe you're the volcano and you're ready. Okay, let's get into, I'm going to pull an energy card for each of the topics I mentioned, and then we'll get into the tarot. So first, we're going to pull an energy card for your soul's desire. So angels, ancestors, guides, ascended masters, beings of love, light, protection, and guidance for Taurus. We want to pull one card for Taurus's soul's desire, one card for Taurus's obstacle, and one card of advice from you, Spirit, for Taurus. One each, please, and thank you. Okay, Taurus's soul's desire. Taurus's soul's desire. Oh, this is nice. So this Pisces had a very spiritual card come out as well. So you have the door to spirit. So your soul's desire is to open up the door to spirit, or to walk through the door that spirit is opening up for you. So what I have written on this card is spiritual awakening and new beginnings. So your soul's desire is to have a new beginning, to have a door open for you, or for you to open the door to something that is, I'm hearing your higher calling, a higher calling. And it's funny too, we've got the dove, a dove here on this card coming through the door. There's a peace about this. When I think of doves, I think about people who release doves like at a wedding, or some kind of celebration. I'm getting like the Four of Wands. I feel like, and we see like the spiritual awakening on this card, I feel like you're leveling up in some way, Taurus. You're going to the next level. This new beginning is not necessarily not tied to anything else. It's definitely tied to other things, and your history, your past, what you've been through. And I don't mean that in a way like, how do I put that, Spirit? So not everything is meant to move forward through this door with you, but the knowledge that you've attained, the wisdom that you have obtained throughout your life, that does move forward. And this is a 32, it breaks down to a 5. 5s are about change. They can bring a little bit of chaos with them. Let's see. I want to get one card for the obstacle for Taurus. In regards to this spread, please. The obstacle. Oh, Taurus, this is interesting. So you have adjacent possibilities. There are lots of doors on this card. Okay, so that's your obstacle. You have a lot of choices. You have a lot of doors to choose from. Which is the right door, Taurus? It's funny, I have many unconsidered options on this card, written down on this card. Is the door to spirit a door that you have not considered? That's interesting. Okay. Or is it maybe not at the top of your list? Okay, let's get some advice. Advice for Taurus from Spirit, please. Advice. Oh, you have the 5th chakra, which is the throat chakra, with Archangel Gabriel. Your advice is to communicate, to express yourself. It's interesting because we have that wise leader. There's something about your truth. Like the 5th chakra is your truth, your self-expression. It's funny because it's really the only card for a chakra in this deck. Like they're all connected to an angel, an archangel, but he always reminds me of an astronaut because there's that aura around his head, that glow. But it always makes me think of, I don't know if you remember, if you're any of you, I'm sure some of you are old enough, but when I was a kid, they had these like glass balls that were like electrical, and you could see the electricity kind of shooting out from the center, and you could put your hand on it and the electricity would go right to your finger and you could move it around in the ball. I don't know if this makes sense to anyone. I don't even think I'm explaining it well, but that's what I saw. There's something about you putting your touch onto something and it being drawn to you, something being drawn to you. But you have to get close to it. You have to touch it. That's really interesting. Okay, we're going to get into the tarot. So what's really interesting, Taurus, I looked underneath the deck when I pulled your obstacle and contract was underneath the deck. I pulled your advice and contract is underneath the deck again. So there could definitely be something about a commitment, a partnership, a contract. That's interesting. Okay. Let's get into the tarot. Okay. Wise leader. Your truth, your passion. Really noticing, so for the, like when I look at this card, of course, this door back here is all lit up. It's almost blinding. But there's shadows here around all these doors. Like the outside of this card is dark. And then there's this, bright light at the end of the tunnel. So it could be your obstacle could be that you need to pass up some doors, walk past them, say no, going straight to something, which is kind of blinding. It's like obvious in a way, but blinding at the same time. Like how do I describe that? not the obvious choice, but it's almost like that epiphany. How I said something about an epiphany. It's like once you see it, once you realize it, it's blinding. It's obvious. And these other two cards for like your advice and your soul's desire. Look at all the gold on these cards. And look at the light here through that door as well. It's really fascinating how those are all connected. Okay, let's get into the tarot. Right, Spirit, we want to pull some cards for this door to Spirit first for your soul's desire. I feel like Spirit is trying to speak to you, Taurus. They're trying to communicate with you right now. Very gently. There's a gentleness that may build up to... Sorry, my ear just felt like it almost popped. Yeah. It's almost like it's a gentleness. They start out gently trying to communicate with you. And depending on who you are, depending on how well you listen, it may become very loud. I just want to let you know. I am getting that. And not all of you will it become really loud. Depends on if you listen or not. But it feels kind of unavoidable or undeniable. I'm hearing undeniable. Unavoidable is not the right word. Undeniable. Okay, the door to Spirit for Taurus's soul's desire. Ooh, interesting. So you've got the Page of Swords, the Page of Cups, and the Hermit. So we've got Virgo energy here. We've got Gemini and Pisces. It's interesting because you're a fixed sign, and these are all mutable. Isn't that fascinating? These are all mutable. Yeah, this feels like when you're alone, Taurus, like the Hermit energy. It's like when you're alone, when there's no distractions. That's when your soul is trying to communicate this to you, this opportunity, this idea. Like I said, it may come as an epiphany. It may come really fast. But it's like you have to find the time to be alone. You have to... Yeah, but there's something that you need to dig deeper into. Like I talked about with the door to Spirit, like this is a new beginning. And you have two pages here which are new. This is like new energy. It is young, it's fresh. I almost said young, fresh, and hip. This is hip, Taurus, apparently. But there's a curiosity to look deeper into something that you may feel like it's a little out of touch, or it's a little... it's funny I say out of touch because before, when I talked about the fifth chakra and the ball, I said you have to put your hand on it. You have to touch it. Okay, you have to dig deeper. You have to learn more. You have to dig deeper. You have to explore something that may seem possibly like it would be out of reach, but right now it's not. And you have to... This is something that you need to find... You need to find time for yourself to be alone without distractions for this to come through. I feel like this is like downloads and upgrades that are coming through for you that may be very shocking. Like it may... sorry, I'm just noticing like she's tiptoeing from this cliff to the other over this sword with this, like, over this truth, this sword. There's some kind of truth, there's some kind of idea that is going to get you from where you've been over to this new beginning, this new idea. And there was a gap here. There's a gap. There's, like how I said, it might seem like it's out of reach, or it might seem like it's far-fetched, a far-fetched idea or something like that. There is a universal truth, a universal law that backs you up on this. Yeah, let's get more on adjacent possibilities, your obstacle. Adjacent possibilities, Taurus's obstacle in regards to their soul's desire. Too many doors. We've got the Eight of Wands and the Ten of Cups with adjacent possibilities. So the Ten of Cups is, family. It is family, friends. It is happiness. It's fun. The Eight of Wands is, fast movement. It's a lot of communication. It's exciting. It's funny, there's 8 doors on adjacent possibilities, and you have the Eight of Wands. There's this desire, I think, for you, Taurus, to get to your Ten of Cups very quickly. So to get to your soul's desire very quickly. And Spirit is saying that the smartest thing is to actually slow down, to listen to yourself. So there could be other people around you, Taurus, that are communicating different ideas. They might have different doors, different things for, different doors for you to walk through and say, I know this is what you want, Taurus, this is the way to go, or something like that. But it's not. It's like it's a detour. It might look like it'd be the fast way to get somewhere, but it's actually not. Why are they showing me Lord of the Rings? They're showing me a part in Lord of the Rings. Man, it's been so long since I watched Lord of the Rings that I have a hard time remembering who's who, like everybody's names. But basically, they end up in this cave which they thought would be a shortcut, and basically it's not. Like, it would be a shortcut if it weren't for everything that's in the cave that could take them out, basically, and stop them from getting to their desired destination. So that's interesting, because and things really pick up when they're in the cave. Like, there's, a lot of action going on, and the Eight of Wands is a lot of action going on. There's this Spirit just keeps saying that you, and this was coming through in another reading I did, like, you are the guru, you are the wise, you have wise leader here. You are the one with the wisdom and the knowing and the vision. So it's important not to let anyone else tell you that not to say nobody else ever understands us, but when you have a vision for your life, when you have a desired destination, however you want to put that, it's very important for you to call the shots. You are to call the shots. You are to be the leader. You are the one to pave the way. And there could be a lot of opinions around you. That's what I want to say. There could be a lot of opinions around you. There could be people who think they know what's best for you or something like that. People who genuinely love you, I want to say, and want to be helpful, but it might not be helpful. There's something about liberty, Lady Liberty, the Statue of Liberty. And when I think about Lady Liberty, I think of freedom. Now I'm hearing Liberty, Liberty, which I think is an insurance company, Liberty Mutual or something like that. There's something about your personal freedom. I mean, you think about the Statue of Liberty, think about America, broke away to start their own. I'm sure not all of you are American, but, we didn't want to pay tax to another, a place overseas, people overseas who weren't even, over here with us, who were just trying to stay in control. We didn't want their opinions. Like, it's like, who, if you've ever had a supervisor or, a boss of some kind, somebody who's above you, and they don't do the job that you do, but they want to come in and they have opinions about what you do. They've never done your job. They don't know the ins and outs of it. They really have no idea, but they come in and they see you working for 10 minutes and they're like, oh, I have an idea that will help improve something, or I really think it would be better if you did it this way. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. It's like someone who doesn't have their hands on what you do, Taurus, wanting to have an opinion on what you're doing, and Spirit is like, no. Taurus is the leader. Taurus is in control. Taurus is the one who has their hands on this. And that's your obstacle. Oh my gosh, 5 of Wands underneath the deck. I didn't even realize that. And the 3 of Cups. Yeah. Like people who might love you or, you might be friends with, but it's like they're not in the same situation that you are. They're not doing what you're doing. They're outside of it somehow. They may be close to you, but they're outside the situation. But they still have an opinion. And it's like, no, their opinion is not. It makes a lot of sense now. You have the 5th chakra for your advice, your guidance, which is self-expression, your truth. Standing up for yourself. Give me more on this 5th chakra for Taurus's advice, please, Spirit. The 5th chakra for Taurus's advice. And that's not to say you have to explain yourself to anyone, Taurus. You don't have to. Sometimes silence is golden. It's funny I say silence is golden because you had all this gold on these cards. Sometimes silence speaks volumes. If somebody's being pushy or something like that. Oh my gosh, Taurus. Look at all this earth. We've got the 9 of Pentacles, the 7 of Pentacles, and the 10 of Pentacles. You have a plan to get from the 9 of Pentacles to the 10 of Pentacles. It's interesting too because the 9 of Pentacles is independence. It is, abundance, but it is, this is a single person card. And you look at the 10 of Pentacles, there's a whole family here. There's a community. I want to use the word community on this card. This is building your legacy. And look at the roots here on this card, you know, nurturing what you've planted, taking care of it. Um, it's making me think of Jackson on the Gilmore Girls. He's a farmer. I don't know if any of you have seen Gilmore Girls, but he's talking to a man who is marrying his Lorelai, who's one of the main characters on the Gilmore Girls. She's Lorelai Gilmore. And he's saying, you know, talking about how much love that, you know, you have to put into a farm, like every single day. You know, you have to take care of it, you have to watch over it and protect it. And there is something, I feel like, Taurus, which is your legacy, it is your dream, and you have a plan to take care of it, to nurture it, to see it grow. And I feel like you are building a community of some sort, or your advice is to build a community of some sort, to be a wise leader, to be a beacon for others. You know, the Hermit can be a teacher. It is definitely, you know, like that introvert energy. It's when, you know, but the Hermit has so much wisdom. The Hermit has spent time on their own and there's something inside the Hermit. Like, I mean, I'm thinking of the traditional hermit, you know, carrying the torch, carrying the lantern that lights their path. And it's interesting because on this wise leader card, she's carrying a torch and she's leading the way for these people down a path that she's already been on. There's a path that you've already been on, Taurus, and your advice is to guide other people down this path, to show them the way, to build a community of some sort, to build a legacy. I don't know what this is, Taurus, but yeah, oh my gosh, now I'm dropping it. The world underneath the deck. That's a huge accomplishment. I want to pull, sorry, I know I get quiet sometimes when I'm thinking. I want to pull one more card. I want to see if I can just get a little bit deeper into this because I'm nosy. What is this for Taurus? What is this legacy, this community for Taurus? Oh my gosh, Taurus. So you know how I said at the beginning of your reading, your North Star, the North Node, your North Star, your... Yeah, we actually have the Star card coming out. Taurus. This is your calling. This is your wish fulfillment. This is beautiful. This is a card of healing and miracles and wishes coming true. And it's like when you wish upon a star, like you've wished for something. They're giving me, it's funny how many movie references I'm getting, or show references, TV, I should say, references I'm getting for your reading today. But I don't know if any of you have ever seen It's a Wonderful Life. It's a Christmas movie, and it's December right now. We're kind of close to Christmas. It's a couple weeks away. But there is a scene in the movie where he talks about throwing a lasso around the moon and pulling it down for, his girl in the movie, George Bailey. And he says, "I'll pull it down for you, Mary, and you can swallow it. And then all the moonbeams can shine out from the ends of your hair and the ends of your fingertips and your toes." And, you know, telling her, he'd pull the moon down for her so that she could basically, glow. And it's so beautiful because they're throwing stones at this old house, to crack a window from far away. Um, and they end up, buying that house and fixing it up and raising their children in it, which is it's a lovely story. But it's just, this is really nice, Taurus. I'm gonna leave it there because that's such a beautiful story to end on. But I just knocked over all the cards. Of course. It's the end. It doesn't matter. Okay, I'm wishing you all the best. I'm sending you lots of love, Taurus. Until next time, and Merry Christmas. Bye bye.